All right, just giving you guys, up-to-date injury updates as of now. We will rule out 3 players. Alex Madison, Jalen Naylor, and Brian O'Neill will all be out for this week. They're all trending in the right direction. Hopefully, be able to get them some work next week in anticipation of maybe having them. We'll have Justin Jefferson and Chris Reed will be questionable. And then Ed Ingram and Dalton Reisner will not have a designation. Both got a full workload today, and we'll be ready to go. Good week of practice. Expecting a really a big-time challenge. This team's playing really well. Zach's got those guys playing really well. Lou on defense, is one of the best in our league. Tough road environment, huge challenge for us. Got to go play well. I'm going to have to play well in all 3 phases to get this win. And then just wanted to highlight with you guys, I know you have hopefully already, but Ivan Pace is the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. What a performance last week. He's had a heck of a first season here with us, and really excited about Ivan.
How much was Justin able to do this week? Like, about your expectation? Or?
Yes. He, he did a really, he did probably more than I originally expected, and responded really well to all the work. So we feel really good about where Justin's at.
Did you make a decision on your backup quarterback, and if so, who is it?
Yeah, we're gonna go in with Jaron as the 2 and Josh as the emergency 3. They'll all be obviously suited up. We'll go through our normal process with those guys with this game plan, making sure whoever's in the game that they feel good about the things that I'm calling. And the way this season's going, we're have a process in place now to be prepared for just about everything. But looking forward to seeing Nick go out there. Had a really good week of practice. Felt kind of the comfort in the things that we're doing in our system, and I think hopefully we can get the other 10 guys in the huddle to be at their best and have a good day offensively.
What was the reasoning there for Jaron?
I just think it's Jaron's fully healthy now, and has really gotten back on the grass and really worked through his continued development, and wanted him to kind of go about the week this week, kind of simulating as if he was going to potentially, as if he was playing, just, using it as a real tool for his development and growth. And he's done a nice job, and just want to kind of go about it that way. Josh Dobbs will be ready to play like he has to help us go 3-2 over the last 5. I mean, he came into the game with way less work than he had this week against Atlanta, and led us to a victory. So tons of confidence in all 3 guys. I know our entire offensive group feels that way, and we feel fortunate having lost Kirk to have that kind of depth that we do in that room.
How will you kind of work the running back rotation without Alexander?
Yeah, Ty has been trending, towards getting more carries. He'll be the lead back for sure. Excited to see Kene get some opportunities, and then we'll make a determination based upon whether we're going to elevate, but C.J. Ham's clearly played a big role for us all year long. Situational downs, had a good carry last week as well. I've got all the confidence that we could move the ball significantly with C.J. in there as well. That's what makes him so valuable to us.
Weston Bear wound up being an addition right during roster reductions and everything. He's played both sides.
Huge. I mean, his impact, thinking to when he's played, the production of us being able to function as an offense with such a veteran presence in there. His mental makeup is great. He's got he's a strong length, all the things you want in a tackle. But considering that we came into the year with Ole and feeling like with that group that we had some real depth, and then for Kwesi and his guys to find somebody like Quest that we've had to rely on quite a bit in multiple O-line group combinations throughout the year. I love everything about him, the way he steps in there. There's never any flinch. He's got more juice than anybody on the sideline, in the huddle, and I think he makes us better, having a guy like that can step in those critical moments.
What has this been like for Garrett Bradbury to work with all the different quarterbacks after spending his whole career with Kirk?
Yeah, it's probably a great point that I don't know if it's been talked about enough. Just his ability, no matter who's in the game, snap counts. I know it's been documented, us working through snap counts on the sideline down in Atlanta. But that all comes from the poise and the composure of your center, being able to handle, that different voice, that different kind of me to you factor and still execute. It's definitely been something that maybe I even took for granted, knowing Kirk and him and all the time on task they had together. But I credit Garrett and our quarterbacks for being able to, do what they've done.
How was that distribution, I guess, of deciding on checks and calls and things like that when it comes to protection, like versus the center versus the quarterback making those calls?
Yeah, I think the quarterback can see everything. It's hard with the center to be able to truly have a full scope of what the entire picture is, and sometimes the good NFL defenses in this league, if you just use one or even two bits of information that you have, they're designed to make you assume that either you're good to go on a play or your protection's sound, when really the quarterback has a little bit more feel of all 11 and what that means for a potential audible check. So it really truly is kind of a workman relationship there, where it's, a lot of times it's confirming maybe what Garrett's thinking, or the quarterback just has to make the call and ultimately make sure that everybody else is on the same page. But I think the best offenses, have a good combination of both, because then you have ownership in really both spots. And that makes it a little bit easier in situations where you've got guys stepping in certain spots to be able to function at a high level.
The Bengals, what have you seen Zach do well to kind of keep their offense humming with Jake in there the last couple weeks?
Yeah, they've got, I think he's doing a really good job getting their weapons the football. They've been able to keep, Chase and Higgins and Boyd, going to where those guys are all real problems. Their depth at the tight end position, they give you a lot of things as far as multiple tight ends on the field at the same time. They're a really good screen team, and then ultimately you look at Mixon and Brown. Really, these guys are both, you got the ability to take it the distance every time they touch it. Mixon's an incredibly difficult guy to tackle. We're going to have a really good day tackling on defense, and I think Zach does a really nice job with Brian Callahan kind of putting it all together and maximizing their group, and they've got a lot of time on task together. And I think Jake Browning and his comfort of, kind of being Joe's right-hand man, you're seeing their offense as if Joe was in there, and then maybe some things that Jake feels more comfortable with, but it still feels like an incredibly high-powered offense, and I think it's a credit to Jake and obviously their coaching staff and players.